Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. Good to see you all again. And we're going to have a fun time today with a subject I'm very excited about. This will be the last live we're doing as a scheduled live on a Wednesday. We've been doing this for about a month and a half, and we start off doing Wednesdays and Saturdays. And we always intended to really just do it once a week on Saturday. So this will be the last Wednesday. However, we are going to definitely pop up and do random lives from time to time, but we're going to do one a week for the general public, for everybody. And then the private Facebook group we have, Market Set of Seminars, All Access, that's where we're going to start doing more content. Obviously, for people that are clearly following me and want to hear what I have to say. It's been fun, and it is fun, though, blessing lots and lots and lots of people I've never worked with before. So if you would just, say hello, put R for replay if you're watching this on replay, or L for live would be great. We always encourage people to share this if you feel it has any value. Share it with your teams, other leaders in your company, so on and so forth. So today I want to talk to you about tenacity and persistence and where mine came from. And it's interesting. I was being interviewed recently, and someone asked me, if you take all the people that you've personally worked with who've earned over $1 million in commissions, and there's quite a few of them, what, if anything, would you say is the common denominator that separates them from everybody else? Because if you make $1 million in network marketing, you're in the top 1/100th of 1%, or maybe 1/1000th of 1% of all the people who've ever filled out an application. So there's obviously certain things that people have in common. I would say the majority of the people that make that kind of money are definitely teachable. You have to be able to come into our industry, and regardless of what you've done in the past, I was lucky. I was not successful in the past. And when I came in with a teachable student's attitude. However, a lot of people were good in something else, a different walk of sales or business. And for whatever reason, if that didn't go well, they came here, but they come in with an unteachable attitude. So very few people get to that level of income if they're unteachable. But that's not the main thing. There's a bunch of things like that the vast majority of people have in common. But the one thing they all have in common is they are just stubborn beyond belief. They are tough beyond belief. It's funny, there's an expression in boxing, and I know a lot of you guys may not like boxing because it's violent, and then again, some of you love it. And in boxing, there's an expression when a fighter has what's called a glass jaw. And that means no matter how big, strong, tough, fast, no matter how well you throw punches, obviously part of boxing is getting hit. And if someone has a weak chin, a glass jaw, meaning that when they get hit in the face, they fall to pieces, they collapse. Well, no matter how good you are on offense, if you're that bad on defense, the odds of you being a champion are virtually non-existent. I feel the same way in our industry. No matter how great you present, no matter how great you are in front of the room, no matter how effective of a closer you are, if you can't take a punch, a direct punch, from someone who's close to you, what we call a dream stealer, who thinks they're acting in your best interest, but in reality, they're stealing your dreams. Or it could be from a competitor, it could be from a critic, but you're gonna get attacked, you're gonna get slammed, you're gonna get criticized. What's that Aristotle quote? Maybe my favorite quote of all times. To avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. Think about it. If you say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing, you're not going to get criticized by anybody. So maybe that's the way to go through life, just to never really try anything because you don't ever want to fail at something or have somebody criticize you. Needless to say, you don't make $1 million doing anything if that's your mindset. So we have to get this tough mindset. Now, I've got to be real with you, extremely real with you. When I first got involved in this industry, that was not the way I looked at things. My mentor, who was one of the toughest, most resilient, determined people I've ever met, maybe that God ever put on this planet, the first thing he taught me is there's 3 rules to being successful. If you followed me, you know these 3 rules. Pay attention, get excited, never quit. Now, all three of them are really important. I don't want to discount pay attention. A lot of you right now are paying attention to the wrong person. You are working your ass off, but you're not getting results. You're in a car and you're driving a Lamborghini from Dallas and you're trying to get to New York. The only problem is when you left Dallas, you went west. You're going the wrong direction. You're following the wrong lead car. See, if you go west at the speed of light, you're not going to get to New York. It's just not going to happen. So the bottom line is you need to be going in the right direction. Pay attention. Find someone who knows what they're doing. And if you don't have someone to pay attention to, pay attention to me. I've done it. I've earned it. And I've trained many other people. It's documented. So pay attention. Number two, get excited. Some of you literally have zero enthusiasm. You call people and go, oh my gosh, this is, hold on to your hat. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Now, this is not a training on enthusiasm, but for heaven's sakes, be enthused. Could you imagine if when you tuned into this, I was like, hi guys, good to see you today. My name is Mark, and boy, do I have a thrilling subject for you today. You have to be excited. If you're not excited about what you're doing, why should anyone else be excited? But the third one is the one I'm getting to right now. Never quit. Not quit if your top leader leaves and goes to another company. Pay attention, get excited, never quit unless the company does something wrong. Pay attention, get excited, never quit unless your sponsor is really mean and rude to you and insulted you in front of a group of people. All those things suck, but it's pay attention, get excited, never quit, ever, for any reason. So I started going to trainings with my mentor, and there was a very definite theme that he talked about again and again and again. Now, he'll be the first one to tell you he didn't invent this concept, but boy, oh boy, is it great for direct sales. He taught me the concept of the rhino. Man, oh man, oh man. Now, some of you may have heard of this before, and some of you may not have heard of this. There was actually a book, I believe, by a guy named Scott Alexander called Rhinocerology. I don't think that's a word, but he made it up. And I read that book early on, and it really just talks about the traits of a rhino and how they're so valuable in the business world. And my mentor took it a whole different level. Our logo, everywhere you went, it was all about rhinos, but that was our mentality. So look, first of all, rhinos are huge. Rhinos are not to be truffled with. Needless to say, they have a horn on the end of their face. What a lot of people don't know about rhinos is, first of all, they're, well, maybe you do know, they're heavy, very heavy. But more importantly, what people don't know is they can run. Once they get up ahead of speed, they can run very, very fast. So would you want something that's this big, running at about 20 to 30 miles an hour and with a horn on the end of their face chasing you? Now, here's the other thing a lot of people don't know about rhinos. They are naturally very chilled out. Okay, they're actually vegetarians. Most people can't believe that a rhino would be a vegetarian, but it's true. But when you piss a rhino off, then it's game on. They can turn on you, they can come at you, they could obviously kill you. They've got the horn, they've got the size, they've got the power. So you really don't want to piss off a rhino. But the thing which is most important, which is clearly why I'm talking to you about it in this subject, is the rhino skin. And needless to say, looking at this, you cannot, by the way, this is one of about 30 rhinos I have around my house. Over the year, my mentor had so many of them. My mentor actually bought and donated, you can't own a rhino, I don't think, but he got the rhino and gave it to a zoo so that he could go and see it whenever he wanted. I mean, that's taking something to an extreme when you own it. I mean, my gosh. So this was drilled into me during my first 10 years, my formative years in this business. It was rhino, 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 rhino. And again, there's a lot of different reasons for it. They don't see very well. So they have an incredible sense of smell. So how many of you don't see? It's like, you know, I just can't see it. Well, rhinos don't need to see it. They can just sense it. They know it's nearby. So maybe your Lamborghini or your multi-million-dollar house or your beachfront estate or your massive bank account, you can't see it, okay? But if you can sense that it's there like a rhino, even though you don't see it with your physical eyes, maybe some of you, your vision's too good. Maybe you need to become more like a rhino and you don't need to see something to be able to believe it. You can just sense that it's there with your other senses. But again, the main thing about a rhino is how thick its skin is. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 inches thick. I know somebody has probably studied rhinos and can give me the exact details. Let's just suffice to say it's really thick. So if you go up to a rhino with a sewing needle and you stick a sewing needle into a rhino's skin, what will happen? Virtually nothing. You'll break the needle most likely. And even if you were able to stick it in their skin, it absolutely wouldn't even know that you were there. They wouldn't feel it. Their skin is so thick. Now, on the other hand, let's take the same sewing needle and let's go to a sheep, because most people are not people, they're sheeple. You know the deal with the sheep, right? The sheep always want to stay in the flock. They want to stay in the herd, because that way, if they're all together, when a wolf or some other predator comes along, there's strength in numbers, and they are very scared. Oh my God, I'm afraid. See, major stark difference between the rhino and the sheep, mostly with the thickness of the skin. So if you stick the same sewing needle into a sheep, oh my gosh, it's nasty. There's blood everywhere. The sheep is screaming and freaking out. That's most people in network marketing. Most of us have not dealt with the kind of rejection you deal with in network marketing. So when someone says they don't want to do your business, you freak out like a sheep. You know, I've done this analogy a lot recently if you've been watching these lives, but I'll just share this with you. When someone rejects your company or your product in network marketing, I hate to break it to you, and if you're caught up in an egocentric kind of place, they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting the company or the owner of the company or the formulator of the products. You are just the messenger who's bringing the message to them. So again, guys, if you are bringing an IRS letter, Internal Revenue from outside the United States, that's tax people. And if I'm delivering a letter to you that says the IRS is going to take your home away because you haven't paid them, that's not me. I didn't make that decision. I'm just the messenger giving you the message. If it's bad news, that's not on me. Same basic concept. You are the one showing the business. So if they don't like it, why would you take it personal? And I guarantee you, the owner of your company, the formulator, they don't care. How many people do you think say no to Amway every day? They say no to Herbalife every day. They say no to Nu Skin. They say no to Avon. The owners of those companies have so many customers. They're so wealthy, so much success. What do you think? You're going to call up and go, yes, excuse me, Mr. Boss, I believe still owns Amway. Yes, I have someone here named Paul. Yes, and he really doesn't think the company is going to work. Yes, okay, sir, we're going to close the company down because Paul doesn't want to do it. Are you kidding me? One person, 100 people, 1,000 people saying no wouldn't matter whatsoever. So you need to get tougher, more thick skin. People are going to say no. Not only that, people are going to make fun of you. When I got involved in the business, people made fun of me. See, way back, long before I got involved in network marketing, I was telling the story the other day that my friend Shush, when he was interviewing me, and when I got involved selling cookware, china, and crystal door to door, which, by the way, I never planned on doing, was never going to be in sales. Anyway, long story short, I need some cash. I was on the verge of graduating college. I just needed some quick cash. So I took this job, didn't really know what was going on. Went to a 2-day training seminar. At the end, they gave me 2 suitcases filled with cookware, china, and crystal. And on the way out the door, I go, well, who do I sell it to? And he said, women. You know women, don't you? And I was like, yeah. Really, I was kind of shy and I didn't know a lot of women, but I did have a girlfriend, thank God. So the first thing I went back, I showed her and her mom. Now, her mom, again, they grew up in a Great Depression. And they were very frugal, saved a lot of money, which if you'd gone through something like that, you can understand why they would be so not into buying anything they consider a luxury. So all she kept saying is, it's great, how much it cost, how much it cost, how much. And they told me, don't give the price until the very end. So anyway, I panicked. I gave her the price. And she was like, oh my God, are you a complete idiot? No one's going to buy this. I mean, no one's going to buy this. I'm a woman. I cook every day. You don't cook. You don't understand. No one is going to spend that kind of money on cookware. You need to take your little samples, bring them back, and quit right now. So I walked back out to the car in stunned silence. And it was one of those moments where my rhino skin obviously protected me. She didn't puncture my heart. She didn't make a fatal wound. As a matter of fact, it pissed me off. Just like if you're trying to poach a rhino and you're going after them, if you go after them too much, you piss them off. And that's when they're going to turn around and run and charge you with that horn on the end of their face. So I said to myself, you know what? Screw you. And I went to her best friend who lived right next door. I sweetly and politely knocked on the door, asked her if I could get a little practice, went inside that house and made my first sale. And wow, did it feel good. See, here's the bottom line. Anyone can do something when it's easy. If a sheep could go to battle with sheepskin, then my goodness, there'd be a lot more successful warriors out there. But the truth is, sheep get slaughtered all the time. And again, if I'm using an analogy that's too much for you, if you're really concerned about animal safety, just get my point. Just trying to make some analogies for you. This rhino is almost indestructible, especially when it comes to its skin. It has thick skin. Every one of the people that I know of who's made over $1 million in this business has very thick skin. We've all had people tell us we were crazy. As a matter of fact, if you haven't had someone tell you you're crazy this week, you're not doing enough presentations. You should have someone, no matter how much success you have, if you're doing the right amount of presentations, you're going to have 2-3 people a week, 5-6 people a week telling you you're nuts, you're crazy, it won't work, blah, 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 blah. Our job is to go out and tell people who've never heard of what we're doing, and we charge out there like a rhino, and we have thick skin. We don't let anything bother us. That's really what it boils down to. Nothing can get you off your track. I'll tell you one more thing about rhinos, because again, these are short broadcasts. We got to wrap this up. If you're enjoying what's going on, remember, share it. Tell me if you're watching L live or R replay. And remember this, everyone can go to my website right now and get an amazing, I truly believe this is an amazing free gift. We've had several thousand people get it so far. So it's awesome. It's called the 10 Keys to Making 100,000 in Network Marketing. Would you like to make 100,000 network marketing? Again, that'll put you in the top 0.1% of all the people who've ever done the business. I've done it many years in a row when I was a rep, many years, 2 decades in a row. And since then, I've trained over 1,000 people who've been able to do that. So I know that I know how to teach this subject. So there's no reason for you and all your teams not to go. You just have to put your data in. We'll put you on an email list. If you don't want to take the emails, you can unsubscribe whenever you want. But the bottom line is it's well worth going through the process to get this free gift and get as many team members as you can. And again, now when you go there, also disclaiming everything, Marcus Etta Seminars is the site, okay? Or if you can't spell Marcus Etta Seminars, just go to World Success Coach. It'll get you to the same place. And there's products there for purchase, and they're all priced so inexpensively for the value, guys. It's so funny. If you want to make a little bit of money, you can be cheap, okay? And again, education, quality education always costs money, but it's much cheaper than the price of failure or the price of frustration. Why do most people quit network marketing? They don't get enough results quickly enough. So you can go to my website, spend a couple $100s to get virtually everything I've got, how to be a better speaker, all the keys to being a successful networker, making over 100 grand a year, personality profile, all of that. You know what I mean? You can spend $500 probably max to go to the site, and that's too much money. Again, okay, Tell me that you're going to become a professional golfer without taking at least spending $500 on lessons. Tell me what university you can go to and get a degree for under $500. Tell me where you can go and do anything of value. You learn cooking lessons. I mean, my God, there's weekend cooking classes in Italy that are like $3,000 or $4,000 per person. And why? Because someone who knows what they're doing is teaching and training you how to cook. So again, guys, no big deal. If you just get the free gift, get the free gift if that blesses you. But you are being very crazy, in my opinion, if you're not gobbling up those products. They are the best of my productivity. So if you don't like my style, that's cool. But if you do, it's my best stuff that I've gathered over the last 20 years, and it's available at introductory prices. Those prices will absolutely go up. So again, just want to let you know all that stuff. So let's finish up by telling you the last cool thing about rhinos. I loved it when I first heard this. So sheep hang out in a flock, right? And if you go through different animals, you know, whatever they gather together in, you know, you have a school of fish, you have all the different names for when that particular animal gets together. When first of all, rhinos normally hang out by themselves, just like $1 million earners are kind of independent. But when you do get rhinos together, they call it a crash. How cool is that? See, again, guys, it's your mindset. People are going to attack you, but nothing can. When you're with fellow rhinos together in a crash, when you get into a mastermind group and you have a couple of other rhinos with you, man, virtually nothing can stop you. And by the way, don't try to be just an individual. Yeah, be the toughest and the best you can possibly be. Educate yourself the best you can be, but network marketing is definitely a team sport. You want to develop a crash of leaders on your team, people that can withstand anything. The company screws up, no big deal. This goes wrong, no big deal. All of your uplines is a jackass, no big deal. A couple of guys quit and go to a competitor, no big deal. People are talking trash about your company, no big deal, because you've got the thickest skin and you hang out with a handful of other people that have the thickest skin, and you just go crash whatever it is you're doing. So hopefully this blessed you. I love doing these. We will definitely be here on Saturday. So again, the lives will be every Saturday at 1 p.m. And don't forget the all access group. Mark a set of seminars, all access on Facebook. We will still be doing a live, an extended live there every Monday. You can go and join the group right now, or if you join the website, you get added automatically. One way or the other, I'm telling you, Mondays and Saturdays are going to give you lots and lots of good information. Granted, it's elementary information. It's not as in detailed as the products we sell on the website, but it's still really powerful stuff. So thanks for listening. Have an incredible Wednesday. Here's the bottom line. Let me leave you with this. Go and make some calls right now. What are you doing? Don't just come to something like this and get fired up and get excited. That doesn't do anything. Enthusiasm, pay attention and get excited. Yeah, but you got to do something with the enthusiasm. So make some calls right now. And you want to go one step further? Be wild and call somebody you're afraid to call. Someone in your Jedi logic you've decided won't do the business. Right now, in the times that we're going through, there are so many people who would have never looked at network marketing who are eager and open to find out another way to either supplement their income or possibly replace their income. Call someone right now. Have a great day. God bless, and we'll see you on Saturday.